What's up, everybody? Gibson's Lawn Service checking in. Listen, you cannot have this is not life working for somebody else the way construction guys work. Typically the tradesmen. Like I told y'all before, the job I'm on, right now, it is mandatory 5 10-hour shifts. That's the schedule. When the boats and the rigs start getting here, it shifts to 6 mandatory 10-hour shifts. I'm sorry. When the boats come in, it is 6 10-hour shifts mandatory. Right now, everything is on the slow side, so it is 5 10-hour shifts mandatory. When the oil rigs get in, it is 6 12-hour shifts mandatory. What kind of life is that, man? You working 10 hours every day. What kind of life do you have? You can't spend time with your wife. You can't spend time with your kids. You don't have a social life. If I work day shift, I got to be at work at 6 in the morning. Typically, I'm going to have to get up at about 4:30 if I don't stay far. Get up 4:30, eat myself some breakfast, kind of get dressed, and then head out the door around about 5:20, 5 o'clock. Get to work. Your shift start at 6. Your shift end at 4:30 p.m. You got to fight traffic to get home. So it's going to take you an hour to get home. 5:30 p.m. By the time you shower and eat, it's 6 to 6:15. You are exhausted. You go in the room, play with your kids for an hour, spend time with your wife for an hour. It's 8:30. Get your behind in the bed and do it all over again 6 days a week. You got to do that for the next 30 or 40 years. And don't get on a job where you working 7 12-hour shifts mandatory. Don't get on one of those jobs. You really ain't gonna have time to yourself. Yes, you making money. That's the only thing you doing. That's the only thing you doing. You just providing for your family because you're not there. That is not a life to live. They asked me tonight and say, hey, want to roll over with the company, man? We need some more supervisors. You really think I'm gonna subject myself to this place, running around here stressing about getting jobs done, worrying about what guys doing, being over 10 to 15 guys, you're pretty much gonna be babysitting. Nah, bro, I don't want no part of this. This is not, listen, the American people have been bamboozled. Why I say the American people have been bamboozled? Because the way the American people are working to buy material things, that's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. And a lot of y'all have let y'all women become conditioned to this stuff. I'm so glad when I bought my house, I was a single man when I bought my house. Reason being, when you go to buy a house and you have a wife, you're typically gonna be buying the house that she likes because you're gonna be working nonstop, so she's gonna be there more than you. There's plenty of guys run out here and buy see, you gotta understand my area. The houses in my area, for a decent house in my area, you're gonna pay $200,000. And that didn't get like that until I wanna say about 6 years ago. You used to can spend $150, $140 to get you a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath. In South Mississippi today, you have to spend $200,000 to get you a nice, safe, and a nice neighborhood home. The problem is, the women today want you to they want you to do just a little more. Honey, just spend $280,000. Who in the crap is making that kind of money? Listen. The job I'm on, I told y'all, they pay in between $1,600 to $1,800 a week. You have to live there. You have to work 6 days a week for that $1,800. 6 10-hour shifts. At what point do you get to enjoy that home? And you know you got to buy your wife a decent car for your family. And it's not even being greedy. You want the nice house so your kids can play in the backyard, so your family can be safe. You want a decent vehicle for your family to get around in. I told y'all, I got a car right now on side of the road. In the morning, I got to put that car on a tow truck and get it to the shop. Guess what? The car's paid for. I ain't tripping. I already know when I put that car in the shop, I'm gonna be out about $300-400. Keep on rolling. I'm not running out here buying no $30,000-40,000 vehicle right now. I can't afford it. I have to live at a job. And see, here's where a lot of y'all get in trouble at. You got your woman out here working just as hard as you, so you can afford this beautiful home that you're never in. And then you wanna, everybody buy a nice car to reward themselves. You run out and buy a nice car, man, I work hard for this. That's another, goodness, hate this street. Your vehicle is another $500 a month. You are slaving away for material things. Then you tell yourself, well, all we do is work. We need to take us a nice vacation. And that's more money you're spending. Listen, you are slaving away, living on the job to buy a beautiful home, to drive a nice car, and to take one vacation a year. At what point are you raising your kids? You're not raising your kids. Your life was not supposed to be meant, it was not meant to live like that. Well, man, what you want me to live below my means? No, that ain't what I want you to do. I want you to be smart with your money. And then look, a lot of women, they want guys that go make all the money where they don't have to work. Women do not want to work in this economy. And you have to understand, the man that is willing to allow his wife to stay home while he works, you are subject to the amount of money that that man makes. If your significant other is making $100,000 a year and you're staying home not working, that is equivalent to two $50,000 salaries. You have to come to grips with, you're not going to drive brand new vehicles. You have to come to grips with, you're not taking 2 to 3 vacations a year. You have to come to grips with, your hair and nails will not be done every week, because you guys is on a budget. You guys is on a budget. But I tell you what can happen. You can stay home and nurture and raise your kids in a safe environment. A woman can set the tone for her house. She can stay home, nurture and raise her kids in a safe environment, and she can build and motivate her man. See, when a lot of men come home from work, they're not greeted with love. They're not greeted with a warm cooked meal. They're greeted with drama. Some of their women don't even acknowledge them when they walk in the door. I listened to this lady talk on this podcast. She said, this what she said. She said, I don't work. She said, I stay home and nurture our 2 daughters. She said, but when my man gets up in the morning for work, I make sure to send him off with love and a nice warm breakfast. When he get home, I make sure supper, she didn't say dinner. She said, I make sure supper's on the table and I greet him at the door. She said, I do this every single day. She said, my husband works 6 days a week. I do this 6 days a week. She said, she remember a time her husband, he came home late. He was like an hour late. Because she said she liked when they don't eat dinner until he comes home. She want to eat dinner with her husband. So this one particular day, he was an hour late. All right. She didn't call him. Where you at? She had the little Life 360 app. So she seen on the app, he was still at work. She said, I ain't gonna bother. So he ended up getting home an hour and 45 minutes late. She said supper was cold. She said, but we have a microwave. We can warm it up. She said, when he walked in the door, she said, I can either tear him down with my words. Why you didn't call me? You knew I was there. You know we don't eat dinner. She said, or I can greet him with love. She said, when he walked in the door, I greeted him with love. I rewarmed the food up and we sat down and ate dinner. Now, you got to understand, a man goes through a lot every single day. What I deal with on that job, I don't bring it home. I am at that job more than I'm at home with my wife and kids. I give this job 60 hours a week. Now, we're not including the time I sleep, the time I drive to work, the time I drive home, preparing to go to the job. I am at this job more than I'm at home with my wife and kids. When I was making double the amount of money working for myself, I was at home every evening around 5 o'clock. And look, I was able to put both of my daughters on the bus. Well, no, my oldest daughter, because my youngest daughter, her bus didn't come to like 9 o'clock, so I was already gone. My oldest daughter, I was able to wake her up, put her on the bus. My second daughter, she was at least up before I left and went to work. My third daughter was still asleep. Fourth daughter just a baby. When they come home from school, within 2 hours, I'm home. I did not work Saturdays and Sundays. If I worked a Saturday, it was a quick little 6-hour job. I was back home. You mean to tell me if I don't have my own business? You mean to tell me if I don't have my own business, I have to be subject to a job 6 days a week, typically 7, to make a decent living? And listen, I'm making a little more money on this job. I'm making a little more money on this job because I am a subcontractor. If I was working for the company, my paycheck would be significantly less, because I would have health insurance coming out my check, I would have retirement coming out my check, and I would be paying a little bit more on taxes. So therefore, instead of me working 6 days a week, making the $1,800, I would have to work 7 days a week to make up for all of that. And you want to work to make the money to provide a better lifestyle for your family. I repeat, you want to make the money to provide a better lifestyle for your family, but at what cost? So then you have guys take less money so they can be home more. Okay? The kids will get the love, the wife will get the love, but you will be lacking financially. You can't do nothing. So then you got to kill yourself at your job so you can have money to do more things, but your spouse will be having to take the kids. The spouse got to take the kids to the trampoline park. When you take your kids out of town to Disney, you can only take 3 days off, 4 days off, then you got to rush back to work to make the money. I've worked with plenty of guys, they will go on vacation Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so they can make it back to work to get the overtime Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so they don't miss a beat. That's not no way to live, man. I don't want to live my life like that. I don't want to live my life like that. Not gonna live my life like that. So that's why I told my wife, man, we need to save every penny we can save this year. Because I don't want to have to, this is what I was telling myself, I don't want to have to go get another job. And then I stopped myself. I said, man, if you got to go get another job next winter, then that's what you got to do. Look, this morning, I didn't really get much sleep this morning because my baby daughter had a doctor's appointment where she had to go get shots. I think her appointment was at 8:30, so that left me getting my second child up ready for school, putting her on the bus, which means I didn't really get any sleep. And when my wife told me this the day before, I said, man, you just gotta sacrifice. I was like, man, I said, what time her appointment? She said 8:30. In my mind, I wanted to say, well, why you ain't make the appointment for 10 o'clock? That way I can sleep. I said to myself, bro, you got a family now. It ain't about you no more. You just got to keep sacrificing. You got to keep working hard. You got to keep stacking money. You got to keep going out there making the money. You got to lose sleep. You got to do whatever it takes to make sure this family is provided for. Listen, when my car broke down on me today and left me on the side of the road, I thank God, man. I said, Lord, I'm just grateful my wife's truck didn't break down. I'm grateful I'm on the side of the road instead of my wife and kids. In the moment, I was upset. When it happened, when my car first broke down, I was upset. I was like, man, I'm doing all this, I'm grinding, Lord, and you allow my car to break down on me? And I was mad for about the first hour or two. And as the day went on, I started thinking about it. I said, man, God allowed my car to break down at the perfect time. It didn't break down when I was in the middle of fighting traffic. It broke down out of everybody's way in the perfect position. Nobody was hurt. Because as a guy want to buy the car, which is fine. That's why I drove it. I said, man, let me just go drive the car, make sure everything tip-top shape. So imagine I'd have sold the guy the car. He'd have got 5 miles from the house, it would have overheated. then he probably would have came back. He probably would have been trying to look me down to put that on me, thinking I screwed him. So now I already know I'm gonna get it towed to the shop, get my hoses replaced, get my radiator replaced, probably get some more spark plugs put on it. I think that's what it needs. Service it and then sell it. And then this truck right here I'm driving, put it in the shop, get some more brakes put on. It's gonna leave that shop, go to another shop, get my AC service for the summer, and then that's it. And I told y'all I want to put my X mark in the shop, get it serviced, because there's some things I want them to diagnose it. I want them to diagnose that machine because it's taking too long for it to fire up when it's been sit. I'm gonna get them to look at that. Probably drop more off to them Monday. That's what I want to get done. But man, all this stuff gonna cost you money. Bro, just keep grinding, bro. Keep grinding. And if you don't got the money, you got $50,000 of credit cards you can swipe at any given time. Man, I don't wanna, you know what I'm saying? I don't wanna run the credit cards up. You don't have to. Listen, you ain't got to run your credit cards up. Spend all the money you got put up in the bank. And when you spend all that up and you need more, swipe them cards. Man, I really don't want to. Dave Ramsey said, man, Dave Ramsey ain't providing for my family. I'm providing for my family. Well, man, that's why you need emergency fund. See, the problem is we don't live in a perfect cookie cutter world. My situation ain't your situation. I'm not Dave Ramsey. I believe Dave Ramsey's plan. You don't spend more than you make. You put yourself on a budget and you try to get out of debt. That's cool. But Dave Ramsey ain't shooting in the gym with me right now. Dave Ramsey don't have a wife and 4 kids trying to get a business off the ground. Right, Dave Ramsey ain't doing that. Dave Ramsey had his own business. We ain't going down this rabbit hole of what all Dave Ramsey did. I really don't care. All I'm saying is, you are not in my shoes. You are not in my shoes. So you can't tell me what it is I need to do. I will listen to what you're saying, but at the end of the day, I gotta make this decision for me, man. I know I'm eating in my account. I'm eating out of my account. Well, man, you got a job, you making money. Yeah, I am. I'm making money, but that money going right out the door, bro. That money going right out the door. My wife is having some work done on her teeth. She got to have a root canal, she have a crown done, and a couple of fillings done. And that right there gonna run me every bit of $2,000. Well, man, I thought you said you're making $1,800 a week. Well, that check gone, bro. That check is gone, out the door, gone. As soon as you made it, it's out the door, gone. And I told you I got a car over here on the side of the road. That's gonna be about $300-400 to get fixed. Brake job on my truck, about another $200. On top of that, put groceries in the house. You know what I'm saying? Take care of a little stuff you got to take care of. Put your mower in the shop. Yeah, we got the money to get it done, and we gonna get it done. All I'm saying is, at one point, all of my credit cards was cut up. I said, man, I need to be a little bit more smarter than this. I can have the cards, but don't use them. So if I ever need them, I'm gonna use them. But I know, man, you gotta get this paid off, bro. And you do gotta get it paid off. And look, next month, my wife have to have laser surgery on one of her eyes. She have to have laser surgery on one of her eyes. That's gonna run me about another that's probably gonna run me about $3,000. It is what it is. Well, man, you ain't got health insurance. Right now, I don't. Right now, I don't have health. So right now, I'm paying everything out of pocket. I am slowly getting all that in order. See, I don't have everything figured out. And I'm willing to admit that. Insurance policy, health insurance policy for my family is gonna run me about $1,700 a month. Now, I will be purchasing that. If I can, I'm gonna try to make that happen this year. But guess what? If I can't, then I can't. It is what it is. Just keep paying out of pocket. But if I don't do that this year, most definitely next year, that's done. That's done. I ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Because you're getting older, you need to see the doctor, and you never know what come up. Because see, this money I'm about to spend, this about $5,000 I'm about to spend. I can't write that off. Versus that $1,700 a month on health care, I can write it off. But Insurance, I feel like I'm not gonna say it's a scam because you need it, but here's what I'm up against. I will pay $1,700 a month for health care for my family, and then I still got a $5,000 deductible, which is it's all of trash. Look, I'm coming up on my car right now, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see it, but I see it. Y'all probably can't see it, but I see it. Y'all probably, I can see it right there. That's it right there. Part of life, man. I'm gonna have that tow truck over here in the morning, get it to the shop. But look, man, I got to go. Catch y'all on the next.